Hello, let's talk about The Conjoined, a 2016 novel set in 2016, Vancouver, British Columbia, by Jen Sukfong Lee. Jessica Campbell, a burnt out social worker, unfortunately, is there any other kind, is helping her father clear out the house after the death of her mother Donna, who was kind of the saintly mother who was took in foster children throughout her life. They're clearing out the house when a discovery is made, and the bodies of children, two girls, are found at the bottom of the family freezer, and all signs point to the fact that Donna has that they've been placed there by Donna. Um, so this is a novel about sort of not really being able to know about your parents. You know that your parents are kind of always remain the mystery, and I mean this one has a particularly gruesome mystery. It seems of like how did these two girls end up in the freezer? Jessica immediately knows, flashing back to the 80s, of exactly who the identity of these two girls, these two young teen girls who came to stayed for about 6 months, were really a handful, were pulling horrible stunts on her mother. They basically kind of battled over, and then they disappeared after 6 weeks, and were assumed to have just kind of become runaways. Uh, but that apparently is not the case. They've been in the freezer the freezer the whole time. Um, the novel kind of flashes back to these times. You get the memories of Jessica. You get the stories of the two girls, who are Casey and Jamie Chen, whose whose immigrant parents fall on hard times, and something horrific, really horrific, happens involving the eldest teen girl, which ends up bringing in social services, and they get withdrawn from the family. Um, so those that kind of the slowly kind of unpacking of all that is a kind of a very effective part of the novel. Maybe what's less effective is the relationships that Jessica has, her kind of her movement throughout the novel. Um, she's a character that has something kind of the kind of gesturing towards change, but by the end of the novel, that actually hasn't happened. And I mean, I guess it's in theme with, you can never really know about your parents, so that's not that is never solved. The fate of the girls is also seems to be up in the air, and you combine that with that Jessica herself does not get a kind of completed. It doesn't feel like a completed story, or it's vague. It gets gestured towards, but it's very vague. What her future is. I think the thing that bothered me the most about the novel was Trevor. In that Jessica has a partner who is a bike riding kind of social justice activist, whose only mode of communication seems to be lecturing. Who is only interested in the wider issues, and that whenever Jessica has any moment of like human weakness, he says like, well, you should be thankful for what you have, you're rich, and in comparison to all the poor people in this world. And it's just like, he is such the tool. He is the guy to leave. He is the guy to cheat on, that is the get out of jail free. If Jessica was a guy, this would be the nagging wife character that the hero gets to kind of casually toss away by the end of the thing, and we don't care about. He is such a one note character, that he actually kind of brings Jessica down. It's like, you think, why are you with this person? I mean, there is the thing of that her mother is in some ways is kind of cast this way as well. She was taking in all these children, while her Jessica's father the environmental lawyer was busy saving the environment, but not interested in the family. And Donna was not interested in Jessica, her daughter. She was too busy saving these other kids. And indeed, through kind of their influence and maybe kind of the pressure, that Jessica has gone into social work to basically kind of pour all her life, everything in her life, into this thing. And I mean, I know from just the outside of exactly how punishing and how all-consuming and how emotionally tough being a social worker can be, and that is definitely burned right through her. And of course, when she even kind of mentions, "I can't do this anymore," Trevor is all just like, "Oh no, of course you can. You must continue the cause." It's like, there's nothing like, "Oh, maybe you should take care of yourself." It's like, "No, we must do the cause." It's like, Trevor is such a kind of just like a shit dork character that, that is terrible. And of course, there is a sexy kind of masculine police detective that, that Jessica gets enthralled with, and it's very much like he's a real man, which has got some other kind of gross things there of like, she wants a real man. She wants a man who doesn't have to ask permission or kind of do all this stuff. It's like she wants someone who's going to take her and hold her. It's just like, it's just kind of, I just like, that. Now, to be fair to Jen Suk-Fong Lee, she does dodge that. That doesn't become the solution to everything, but just that it's there, and that we never get to see any shading of Trevor. We get to see a lot of shading of Donna. Donna actually gets shading. You get a kind of a sense of a complex thing, but that you have someone as kind of central also as Trevor. Well, not central, but someone who is basically being used as a symbol for everything that's wrong in Jessica's life. It's like, it did not work for me. So yeah, at the end, it's like, I think the novel is too vague. It's going for kind of a literary kind of thing of like, you can never know the answers to these things. There's in some ways that I almost wish that you kind of dispense with the whole Jessica, the present day thing, the focus of that, and focus far more on the kids in this thing, and and their parents, and a family friend, Wayne. It's like, actually that story was far more far better executed than the very kind of middle class angst and kind of midlife crisis that was going on for Jessica, who by the end of this book makes some decisions for what she did. She decides for herself what everyone else needs to know, which is like, fuck you. People should get to make that decision themselves. So I didn't really appreciate that about her as well. So yeah, that's my very rambly review of The Conjoined by Jen Suk-Fong Lee. More videos later.